I'm Bill, and I'm glad you're here. We're going to take a look at how motion that we can see as it gradually speeds up becomes sound to our ears and a blur to our eyes. This is a thin metal ruler from an office supply store, and I clamp it into a vise and pull back the end and let it go, and it just, you can see it moving back and forth. No big mystery there. But now I'm going to move it so that the moving end is a little bit shorter, and we see it moves a little bit faster. And then we shorten it some more. And now it's moving pretty fast. I can still see it moving, but it's getting to be more of a challenge. Now here, I can see that it's moving, but it's a little bit too fast for me to follow. Now I'm going to shorten it a little bit more and make it a little bit faster. Now, this is not a good musical instrument, but it's now going fast enough that our ears hear it as a tone. When it's going back and forth 20 times per second or faster, our ears begin to hear that as a very low note, and as it goes faster still, that note becomes higher in pitch to our hearing. About there. As I said, this is a very bad musical instrument, but you can see it moving slowly, which you cannot do with a guitar string. Doot, doot. Doot, doot. Anyway, many of you know that guitar strings can be made higher and lower by making them shorter and longer. But 20 times per second is the speed at which a back and forth motion becomes a sound that we can hear as a musical tone. Even very poor quality music like that. This is a piece of wood from the hardware store. Thin piece of wood, basswood, I think. You can sort of see the same thing happening here. I put some red tape on there to make it easier to see. And as we shorten it, it goes faster. I think that's probably where we're beginning to hear it as a note, but the sound quality is really terrible. But there's another speed that you should know about. 20 times per second is when your ears begin to hear it as a sound, as a tone, a note, if you will. 30 times per second is when your eyes no longer can see it moving back and forth. It becomes a blur. And that 30 times per second is particularly important when you're working with robots, because lots of times when LEDs are used in robots, they are switched on and off 30 or 40 or 50 or 60 times per second. And to our eyes, they look like they're on steady, because our eye cannot see it going on and off faster than 30 times per second. So there's a couple of speeds for you to keep in mind. 20 times per second is where a motion becomes a musical sound, and 30 times per second is where a motion becomes a blur to our eye. AstuteKid. AstuteKid.com.